Good Monday morning, everyone. You are watching Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter, and look who I have in with me today. It is the one and only Dave Garner. Dave, I'm so excited to have you today.
I know. I tell you what, in the studio together for the first time.
I know, for the first time.
I'm hoarse and everything. I was at the Braves game on Sunday, and I lost my voice somehow. I mean, I'm not a yeller and screamer that much, but a couple times during the game on Sunday, I guess it was frustrating enough that it brought it out of me, brought out the worst in me, and so now I feel like I can barely talk this morning, but glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you, and now this time we can just have a conversation face to face and not have to worry about switching.
We don't have to wait on Josh to try to line up the audio. No,
we'll blame it on Josh. He can't defend himself. He's not in here.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we've got a lot on the lineup today for you all, especially those of you that are local high school sports fans, because as you all know, and some of you are probably sitting in the, well, maybe not by now, but some of you probably have been sitting in the carpool line earlier today because many of the schools are starting back today, and we're going to have a little segment devoted to that as well. But we're going to start it right off. We have a couple of ladies over in FYN County who have committed and are taking it to the next level. That's what we like to call it here on Team FYN Sports and on Instant Replay. They have committed to colleges, and we are so excited to talk about that a little bit today. At Team FYN Sports, we are always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, so we want to devote some time to talking about these ladies here. And the first one we have is former Rebel Macy Galloway, who committed to the University of North Georgia, my alma mater, go Nighthawks, for track and field. Galloway, this is impressive, y'all, so listen to this. She was a dual athlete while at FYN. She played both softball and ran track and field. A lot going on with this girl, Dave.
I was going to say, yeah.
On top of these feats, she earned a varsity letter all 4 years of high school in each. Now, while playing softball, Galloway's accomplishments include earning the title of Offensive Player of the Year in 2016 and 2017, Scholar Athlete Award 3 years in a row, and the title of First Team All-Region Shortstop 3 years in a row. During her time of running track at FYN, Galloway qualified for sectionals all 4 years and qualified for state her sophomore and senior years. Now, she is one of those scholar athletes who didn't just focus on her athletics, but also was very involved inside the classroom as well. And just to sum up what a hardworking and talented young lady we're talking about, Galloway also participated in several different clubs while in high school, including FCA and National Honor Societies. She also graduated with a 4.0 GPA and was 12th in her class.
Wow. A lot smarter than me, I can tell you that.
Need I say more? I mean, Holy cow.
That's awesome.
We think about athletes, Dave, who all they really have time for is to focus on their sport. And I get it. That's all they have time for.
Right.
But just as I was reading this article, and I want to say thank you to Reagan Young. She's our reporter in FYN, and she, wrote up this article about Galloway and did an awesome job with it. Reading all this, I'm just blown away. I'm like, not only is she's a dual athlete, track and field and softball, and then a 4.0 GPA. She's involved in like 3 or 4 different clubs and graduated 12th in her class. I'm like, that's some great time management there.
Right, I was going to say, the epitome of a student athlete, by definition. And, we always refer to them as student athletes because that's what they are. And so, a lot of folks take the student part more seriously. A lot of folks take the athlete part more seriously. But to have a good, well-rounded educational experience as a high school athlete or as a college athlete, to be a true student athlete like Galloway is and some of the others that we're going to talk about, it's just awesome to see someone that's able to balance, both the academics and the athletics.
It's just amazing. I think about all that I did in high school, and it looks like nothing compared to her.
I feel you. Trust me. I feel you.
I'm just reading all this. But again, thank you. Congratulations to Macy Galloway. We want to wish you the best at the University of North Georgia. You're in good hands over there, know from personal experience, and we're looking forward to hearing all that you continue to accomplish, as I'm sure that you will as you go over to UNG and Dahlonega. And again, thank you to our Team FYN sports reporter in FYN County, Reagan Young, for doing this article and for sending us all this information. And now, Rebels fans, Reagan will be on the sideline for all of the FYN games, so keep a lookout for her. She does an awesome job for us, and we're excited to continue to cover the Rebels for football season this year. Now, also over in FYN, and this is one of Macy's teammates because she played over at FYN for softball, we have Kaylee Russell. She is the class of 2020, so she hasn't graduated yet, but she committed to Bryan College this week. Russell is another athlete who's been nonstop in her athletic career, and it shows in her softball resume, as I'm going to call it, both during her time at FYN and in travel ball, because we know we have athletes that they play in high school and then they also play in travel ball.
Yep.
Now, for starters, Russell has been on the varsity team all throughout high school. In 2017, she was named Defensive Player of the Year with a .977 fielding average, as well as received a nomination for Positive Athlete of Georgia in 2017 and was first best baseman in region. Now, this is all in the same year. This is in 2017. Right. Now, in the following year, 2018, Russell was on the All-Region First Team for Region 7 AAA. She also won 2 awards, the Rebel Award, and now this year she won the Positive Athlete of Georgia Region Award, and she was a 2018 Junior All-American. All of these accomplishments are just in her time at FYN and her time in travel ball. Russell earned awards such as MVP Catcher of the Year, Home Run Derby Award winner, and was on a team that won 4 Tennessee State championships.
Wow. I mean, that, once again, yeah.
I mean, need I say more? Again.
Right, absolutely.
I think that speaks for itself.
You know, and we talked about the fact that, you know, there's a lot of student athletes nowadays that are earning scholarships based off of what they're doing outside of their school teams, you know, because of, you know, AAU and all these other opportunities that, that guys and girls have to be able to extend their seasons beyond, you know, just the high school season, playing for their high school. We're seeing more and more players get those scholarship opportunities from that, even more so because of the coaches at the college level being able to go and scout in the off season to watch, you know, basketball players and softball players play in the non-traditional times of the year. So, yeah, once again, I mean, congratulations there. It's awesome the amount of exposure that these athletes are getting nowadays, and it's even better when we see student athletes take advantage of that, as we've seen with these last 2 young ladies you've talked about.
Exactly. So again, congratulations to Kaylee and to Macy. Now, I want to say thank you to Kaylee's mama, Tina Russell. She sent me all this information. We were messaging on Facebook yesterday, and of course, she was more than happy to send me everything.
Always helps when you have the parents helping us out, which we encourage.
Talk about her daughter, of course, because we had heard that she committed. But I messaged her and I said, "Hey, can you send me a little bit more information?" Because we want to mention that they've committed somewhere, but we also want to talk about what they've been doing in high school.
Absolutely.
And Kaylee has another season of softball because she's class of 2020. So I mean, we're going to be hearing more about what she's going to be doing at FYN this season. But thank you, Tina, for sending me this information about Kaylee. And now, fans, if you have any information about your favorite athlete, about maybe a child of yours that is playing and that you want to send us some information about, Josh, if you want to throw up that social media card just real quick. So you can message us on Facebook at Team FYN Sports on our Facebook page. Or even better, you can send us an email to that email address right there, teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. And then, of course, you see all of our other social media outlets right there that you can follow us on and give us a shout out on as well. It is at Team FYN Sports across all those handles there at the top. And then also on our YouTube page, you can subscribe there to watch this video clip if maybe you want to go back and share it later on. So a lot going on over in FYN there, Dave, with all of those taking it to the next levels. I mean, it's just, that's awesome.
Yeah, Blue Ridge, a very busy place for sure in the off season. It's great to see some of these student athletes that still have another year already making those commitments.
Right. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. That's really, I'm speechless. Yeah. I don't have any other words other than congratulations, ladies, to those of you over in FYN. And again, we're looking forward to seeing what you do. As the case of Kaylee, you know, you have another year left of softball, and then with Macy, as you're going into college, and then what y'all continue to do from then on. So speaking of FYN, I mean, there's a lot going on over in Blue Ridge, and I wanted to add this to the lineup, and you're going to like this, Dave, because we were talking about this earlier in the summer. FYN County Park and Rec had their fishing camp this week, and I love this. This is great. We've been talking about camps all summer that the recs and the high schools have been doing together, and you know, we've been talking about football camps, baseball. We've been covering some baseball tournaments, and then this is a camp that you don't typically think about, but in an area like this, you know, we talked about earlier in the summer how it's so common to be going and doing the outdoor sports such as fishing and biking in North Georgia. I mean, it's the perfect area for it.
Oh, yeah.
And so over in Blue Ridge, they're taking advantage of that. So the camp lasted every morning, Monday through Thursday, and they rotated between different ponds and creeks over there near FYN Park and Rec. And on Thursday, the camp attendees got to finish up with a fish fry.
Man, how appropriate.
I know, right?
I mean, you know, like there's so many more. I mean, we talked about opportunities. I mean, you have, you know, back when, way back, I mean, we didn't have a lot of the things that are offered now. Fishing being one of them. Esports. You know, I mean,
Oh,
who would have
yeah,
known that video
esports.
game? I mean, I'd have gotten a letter. You know, I mean, video gaming basically has become an official sanctioned GHSA sport now at the high
It
school level.
is.
I mean, there's a lot more opportunities for kids to get involved with different extracurricular activities outside of clubs and what we consider traditional sports, you know, because you
Right.
have the bass fishing team now. You know, esports, lacrosse is starting to catch up to this area, but it's, you know, it's been around. These things tend to grow from the Atlanta area out or from a metro
Right,
area out.
right.
And so we're seeing more and more sports that now you're a lot younger than I am. So a lot of these things were offered when you were in school probably, but for me, not so much. But we're seeing more and more things added. Who knows what'll be there in 10, 20 years from now? There might be some cyber something or other team or something. I mean, I don't know. I have
really
no idea.
telling. And you're talking about, you know, me being younger and offering some of these clubs. I mean, they didn't have the esports that I know about when I was in high
Right.
school. I graduated in 2015.
I think it's fair. I think that's fairly new. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I
It's
do.
very new. And I was looking, just because you mentioned this, it made me think about it. You know, I was looking at the GHSA regulations and what sports could start up when. And some of the ones that I didn't even think about, like literary, was on that list, and one act play and rivalry.
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of other sports
Oh, yeah.
that we don't think about that are starting up and that
Right.
have different things going on. But I thought it
Absolutely.
was so exciting to
Absolutely.
see that FYN Park and Rec was having this fishing camp. I mean, what better way to relax from the craziness of school starting
Especially in
back?
summer,
and
right, yeah.
Exactly,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. And then I saw the pictures of the fish fry, and I was kind of like, I should
going-
have gone to report on
I was
that.
going to
you
say,
know?
yeah, I'm going to
I
fishing
should have
camp.
gone
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
You know, report on the fish fry.
Yeah.
But that's really cool to see that they were doing that over at FYN Park and Rec. And that, I mean, we've already gone through an entire segment, Dave. It's already time for our first break.
I know. I tell you what.
I mean, we
you
get
know,
to talking and the time just flies
to
by.
the next level, fish fries. We've
I know,
we've already
we've got all
covered
sorts
it
of
right
stuff
here in the
going
first
on.
segment. So
It's great. And it's great to have you on, Dave, this
thank
week.
you. I appreciate it.
We've
Glad to
got
be
a
here.
lot more in store, fans, but we are going to take our first break. So don't go anywhere, because we're going to be talking more about local sports that are starting up and some scores from some softball teams and even a couple of volleyball teams that are getting started soon. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching this week's edition of Instant Replay with me, Lauren Hunter, and I have the one and only Dave Garner with me today. In the flesh on the show with me today, and we've been having a good time, haven't we, Dave?
We have definitely. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed working with you over the last, however long it's been now, a couple months, I guess, or a few months, you know. And I kind of want to let folks know, like, why I'm here, because there is kind of a reason. I mean, other than just hanging out and being in studio with you. I'm here today to attend Lauren's graduation. And she didn't even really know what was going on, but basically talking to BKP, talking to Lisa, all the folks behind the scenes, we have come to a point where we realize that Lauren is indeed ready to take on the role of full-time host of the Instant Replay. So again, now that doesn't mean I'm backing away from the show completely. I'm going to be a regular contributor, still going to be hosting the Pickens Power Half-Hour Dragon Talk with Coach Nelson in the fall. But some of and just to be transparent, there are some different work obligations that I have with my company, Woodman, that's going to take me out of pocket on Monday mornings. We're going to be doing some trainings and some things that I found out about last week.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I won't be able to be in here live or remotely like I have been with you over the last couple months. So I didn't want to leave you hanging, but all of us here at Fetcher News and Team FYN Sports felt like you were ready. So it is definitely and the plan was for me to kind of back out of it at some point anyway, but we feel like you're ready. I know you're ready. I have confidence in you. Everyone else does too.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You are now the
appreciate
official
that.
host. You have been anyway, but like you're the official host now. You know, you get the pay raise with the title, right? I mean, that's what they told me now. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll just kind of,
Yeah, we'll just tiptoe around that one. We'll have to talk to them later. But I did want to kind of let folks know that this is going to kind of be my last like full-time show, if you will, with the Instant Replay, but definitely leaving it in good hands because this young lady right here, you're truly remarkable.
Oh,
you
thank
really
you,
are.
Dave.
You
I really
are.
appreciate that. And coming from you, that means a lot because for those of you that know Dave, I mean, you know everything that he's done with Fetcher News and then also outside of Fetcher News with broadcasting. I mean, Dave here is a sports broadcaster. I mean, he is the sports broadcaster.
Well,
so
Josh and I really had a falling out, and I'm leaving the show. Josh is just too many.
Again, we're gonna blame it on Josh.
Exactly. He can chime in though. He's got the button in there. But no, it's been great working this crew. And like I said, I'm not going away completely. But I'm excited to turn the reins of this show over to you because I know you're ready and you're going to do a great job with it.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I've enjoyed doing the show so far, and I've enjoyed doing it with you. And there were a couple of weeks, where you went on vacation, so I got a little bit of practice. I'm not completely going to be thrown into the wolves or anything like that, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Yep. We've got a lot coming up with football season, and so we're going to have plenty to talk about. And I'm sorry, fans, for those of you that are diehard Dave Garner fans. I mean, he's not going to be in with us live every Monday morning, but it's like you said, you're not going anywhere. I mean, you're still going to be around. Still going
to have a presence. And still helping you out any way you need my help.
That's exactly right. So. And we definitely appreciate it. But we still got a lot more to talk about today. So
let's wipe the tears away, dry the eyes, let's get serious again.
Because obviously we're just a mess over here. But we were talking about earlier in the show, some of you may have been waiting in the carpool line or waiting near the buses or at the bus stop earlier today because there are some local schools in the area that are starting back either tomorrow. I don't think we have any that are starting back today, but we had some that started back. Dawson County started back on Friday.
Right, couple schools,
Yes. Yeah. They have some school systems that started back on Friday. So Dawson County was one of those. Lumpkin County and Pickens County start tomorrow.
Tuesday, yep. Mm-hmm.
Fannin, Gilmer, Rabun, and Union start on Wednesday, and then White County starts on Thursday. Yeah. So even though we don't have any starting today, we do have some that are starting. Actually, just about all the counties that we cover are starting back this week.
Right.
So there's a lot going on. I'm sure there's some frantic scrambling around to get school supplies. If that was always me, I was getting school supplies at the last minute.
Yeah,
exactly. Picking up whatever I could find at Walmart.
And exactly. And it's crazy because again, I'm the old guy when I was in school, but we wouldn't go back till Labor Day, weekend or whatever. And so my senior year, we actually played our first football game before school started.
Really?
And I was worried no one would show up because no one would know about it. And I was
Right.
wrong. It was packed.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's a situation now where not only is school starting, but also the first official practices for a lot of the
Yep.
sports are starting. Cross country, you know, softball's already, I think, they've already been they're getting ready to start playing
Softball,
games,
we're gonna talk about that.
volleyball.
There have been a couple of softball games that have already been
So
played.
it's here, folks. It's here.
Oh yeah, it is. And speaking of practices starting back up and everything, so we're gonna look at that in just a second. But I know that under GHSA regulations, a lot of the practices were able to start back up on July 29th officially.
Right.
So like cheerleading, volleyball, cross country, softball, like you said, you know, they were allowed. They've been doing a little bit during the summer, but their official regular practices were allowed to start back up on July 29th. And then also football was allowed to begin their regular conditioning on the 25th, but they weren't allowed to start wearing pads for regular practice until this past Thursday, August 1st.
Right.
So, I mean, everything is up and running now. And it's crazy to believe that the summer is already over.
I know.
I mean, where has it gone?
It's sad if you're married to a teacher. I can tell you that. Yeah,
I'm assuming
they're
you're
already
right.
they're already backing at it. Already been backing at it. Yeah, summer is officially over for teachers, and we're there.
Yeah.
We're there. So,
Wow.
but it's fun for people like us that cover
yeah.
sports. I mean, it's like exciting, and we're
Yeah.
ready to go.
I
So,
can remember going into high school and being in high school and being sad that school was starting back, but also being excited because I'm like, oh, well, that means football season's going to start
Right.
soon.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I mentioned on the show before, I live for Friday night.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it.
And you know, I told like my wife and other people, you know, teacher, I'm excited for football season. They're like, yeah, but that means we go back to work and everything. I said, but look at it this way: look at football as that one thing. You know, you're going to have to go back to work at some point. You know, you're going to have to get things started. It's at least that one thing you can look forward to.
Exactly.
You know, that time of year when everything else is tough. Well, at least you got football you can watch on the weekends.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know.
On Friday night. If you're a diehard football fan, you do JV on Thursday.
Yeah.
You do varsity on Friday. You
Right.
do college on Saturday, and then you do NFL on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
and
your
even
weekend
nowadays,
is devoted to football.
You got a Thursday night football game. You got a Monday night football game. There's a college game. Now they've started playing like some select Tuesday, usually smaller stuff, but like Tuesday. I think Wednesday night, if I'm not mistaken, there may be a Wednesday game. I don't know, but like Wednesday night, I think is like the only night once everything gets rocking and rolling, there's no football game. But other than that,
Yeah.
there's a game in some way, shape, or form, high school, college, pro, going on basically every other night
Every
of
other
the
day
week.
of the week.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
So,
But it's
you're-
exciting.
It's exciting. Yeah.
And the weather's going to get cooler. I could go on about that.
Oh
all
yeah.
day.
Oh yeah.
But we're going to talk about also some softball teams and volleyball teams who've gotten started back up this week. And we're talking about softball teams that have already started playing. So over in Lumpkin County, softball unfortunately lost their first game to White County 14-8 on Friday. But the Lady Indians will be playing in the Rumble at the Ridge tournament this Friday. That's the tournament they have at Peachtree Ridge, so
Right.
over in Gwinnett County where I'm from. And the volleyball team will open up their season on the 8th at North Forsyth, which I believe it's Thursday. Yep. So volleyball hasn't quite gotten underway over there in Lumpkin, but softball is. And we're going to be talking about some other counties that have as well. And in White County, I mean, we just mentioned with Lumpkin County, they played Lumpkin at home on Friday and won 14-8. They have 3 more games this week against Rabun County on the 5th, at North Hall on the 6th, and against Gainesville on the 8th. So some good teams there. And softball sounds like it's just wide open now.
I was going to say, yeah. And, we talk a lot about football. We're in the South. Football's king. We know that.
Yep.
But the level of play with, our girls softball teams, volleyball has really caught on in this area. You look at the success that Pickens, that Gilmer, that Fannin have had over the last several years combined. Cross country. My stepson runs cross country. They're getting ready for their first meet, I think the middle of next week maybe. So, I mean, there's a lot of other things going on. Football is obviously the focus. We know that's what pays the bill, so to speak. But there are
Right.
a lot of other sports that are, grabbing a lot of attention statewide in this area. And so, again, we're not going to overlook them. We're going to be all
Yeah,
over it.
exactly. We are # all over it. And
There you
we
go.
want to give these sports a shout out as well because these are athletes that work extremely hard, so they deserve
Absolutely.
their due.
Yep.
Now, volleyball over in White County will open up their season on the 8th against Rabun County, and I want to say thank you to Carson Finley, our new reporter over in White County, for sending me all of this information. And Warriors fans, Carson is going to be on the sideline for all the White County games, so we've got a couple of counties that Team FYN Sports is going to have more of a presence of this season. Dawson, White, myself over in Lumpkin County. So keep an eye out for us. We'll have on our Team FYN Sports badge and logo and everything. So we're going to be on your sideline. Now over in Fannin, the Lady Rebels softball team unfortunately lost their first game against Chestatee on Saturday 19-10, but they will face Denmark on Tuesday. The volleyball team over there will open up their season with a face-off against Dawson County, Gilmer, and Pickens on Tuesday. So a little tournament there. They will also play Christian Heritage later in the week. And finally, over in Dawson County, softball lost their first game to Denmark 14-1 on Saturday. Their next game will be a region matchup against Chestatee on August 6th, followed by a game at Rabun County on the 8th. And then their volleyball team will open up their season on August 6th tomorrow against Pickens. So
there you go.
Softball is rolling and volleyball is right on the edge of rolling.
There's the rundown right there. So not only are we entertaining, we're also informational and educational, sharing those dates out there with you. And we want to encourage folks to get out there and support these local teams. Even if you don't have a kid or a grandkid or a sibling playing, get out and support your local high school team. If you've never been to a football game, softball, volleyball match, they're a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean, I'm not just saying that. I mean, even if you're not really a sports fan per se, it's fun to get out and see your local high school team. Again, admission typically is what, $4 or $5, I guess. If that. So, get on out there and support your local teams as they take the field this fall.
Yep, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and sometimes I just like to go and watch games, just to go and watch. I mean, it's like you said, the admission is not that expensive. It's maybe like $3 or $4, and so you can just sit there and see what's going on. And if especially in this position, I've always been a football fan, but I'm learning some more about these, softball and volleyball and some of these other sports. And so just to go and watch, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, especially if, and a lot of these games are during the week too. You got Thursday games, Tuesday games. So again, it doesn't have to just be taking up your weekend. If you're sitting around on Tuesday night or Friday night, typically you can go to the high school website, pull up the schedules. So you know when they're playing home and away. Dawson County, for example, if you're in Dawsonville, you want to check out the Lady Tiger softball team, pull up the school calendar and go check them out.
Exactly.
It's a lot of fun.
Yep. Well, that's going to take us into our next break, everyone. And when we come back, we'll be talking some more about some local upcoming football events to mark your calendar with. Like you said, Dave, we're informational as well, keeping everybody updated on what's going on in Team FYN Sports Country. So don't go anywhere. We will be back very shortly.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
The summer savings are too hot to touch at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper. And every Chevy truck has a red hot price, like new Colorado Crew Cabs, over $6,500 off, or new Silverado Crew Cabs, over $11,000 off. You won't find a hotter deal on a new Chevy truck anywhere else in Georgia. The summer savings event going on right now at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Dave's Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter, and I have the one and only Dave Garner in the office with me today. That's what I refer to you as.
Good
Dave.
morning from the office.
Good
Wait a minute, I
morning
think
from
someone
the
else
office.
has that show already.
Yeah,
but
I think
anyway.
they do. Well, I don't know. That one may be trademarked
Yeah.
or something. We might not be able to use that. But before we went to break, we were talking about some local high school sports. As we know, a lot of high schools have started back, have opened their doors today and on into the rest of the week. There's going to be high schools starting back up, and so the sports are starting back up. And we're going to be talking a little bit now about some upcoming football events this week, and I'm so excited because love all sports, but football is my thing. So Pickens High School has their Meet the Dragons event coming up this week.
Yep.
And it will be on Friday. And this event will feature a scrimmage between the varsity, junior varsity, and 9th grade teams from 3:30 to 4:30. So I guess right after they get out of school, they're going to be heading down to the football field. Right. The 7th and 8th grade teams will scrimmage from 4:30 to 5:30, followed by the band and the cheerleaders, a performance by them. The 6 and 7U teams will scrimmage each other at the same time as the 8 and 9U teams are going to be scrimmaging each other, followed by the 10U and the 11U Dragons, and then the event will conclude with intros, pictures, and autographs for the teams from 7 to 7:30. Now, tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for kids. There will also be a raffle, silent auction, barbecue benefiting Hugs for Hudson, and other fun activities. Now, Dave, I was going to ask you, because this sounds like a really fun event, how many people do you think you would know at this thing?
I mean, I'd know a couple, I guess.
Just a couple?
3, 4, I guess. No, I mean, I don't know.
You are lying.
I would think I'd know a good many, but it's an awesome event. I'll know RJ Casey. I'm sure he'll be there.
I love to give you grief because it seems like anytime I bring up maybe we're doing one of those taking it to the next level or something like that, I'll throw it back to you, and you're always like, oh yeah, I actually know.
Oh yeah, I know.
so and so
exactly.
personally.
Yeah,
and so I just thought I was like, I'm gonna give.
I like the name drop. What can I say? No, this is. I'll know a good many folks, I would think. But this event's it's a lot of fun for folks in Pickens County. They've been doing this, I think, for the last several years now. I think this is something that Coach Chris Parker had kind of began, and now that we kind of see, as a lot of our counties are kind of putting all of football under one umbrella, in Pickens, you're seeing even the youth football, which transitioned from the Jasper Youth Sports Association, JYSA, over to the umbrella of the school system, basically.
Right.
And so you have football as one program in Pickens County from youth all the way through high school. A lot of other counties are starting to do that as well, and we're seeing the successes that it creates. So this is a great event that's not only for the high school and the middle school, but also for the youth, as well. I think you mentioned 8 and up, 10 and up, and so it's awesome to see everyone on display in one night from top to bottom, or bottom to top, I guess, however you look at it. And an opportunity because, a lot of these high school kids, you talk to them, they don't realize they're stars to these little kids.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And so we talked about autographs and things like that. May seem over the top to those guys. They're like, man, nobody wants our autograph. We're in high school. No, I mean, trust me, these little kids look up to them like they're big time. And so it's an awesome event.
And when I've gone and interviewed some of the coaches in the area, especially at these camps, they talk about how they do it partially because they want to give those kids the opportunity to interact with the older players in high school, because they'll talk about, they look so much up to them.
Yeah.
And they want them to be able to kind of have that bond between the older and the younger kids. And then also for those younger kids to be inspired and think, oh, well, if I work hard, then I'll be like, whoever.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
In the next few years. So it's exciting. And I can remember one game, we used to always have one game a year at Mill Creek where I went, where we'd have all the youth come out and they would walk the track before the football game. but that was about all we had, And hearing about this sort of event, you get such a community base out that to come out and to support these high school players, and then also give the younger kids an opportunity to talk to.
Absolutely, CJ Stryker, get that Sharpie ready, buddy, because they're gonna, they'll all be signing autographs there. So
exactly, and thank you to our reporter RJ Casey. He is always sending me Pickens information. I had seen scrolling through Twitter. I have notifications set for all of the teams that we cover, and I had seen this Pickens notification for Meet the Dragons and thought, okay, I'll add it to the lineup later. And it was just like RJ texting me, "Hey, did you see they have Meet the Dragons coming out this week?" I'm
say.
like, "Yes, RJ, I saw it."
If you don't get notifications from RJ, you better call and make sure he's alive because I'm telling you, it'd be something if you didn't have those.
We like to joke that he's our Pickens encyclopedia.
Exactly, he really
RJ is all over it. He is the embodiment of all over it.
Eats, sleeps, and breathes.
Exactly,
Pickens County
exactly.
Athletics.
So thank you, RJ. And for those of you who know RJ and see him on the sidelines every year at Pickens, he will be there again this season. RJ would not miss a Pickens game for the world.
You're right.
So anyway, exciting stuff going over there in Jasper. But also over in Lumpkin County, they're doing an event that's very similar, but they're calling it Meet the Indians, obviously, because they're the Indians over in Lumpkin County. And similar to this event, it will feature a 7 o'clock scrimmage between the purple and gold Indians team, so they divide the varsity in half, purple and gold, because that's their team colors, and a halftime performance by the Band of Gold, so go marching band. After the scrimmage, fans are welcome on the field to meet the high school players, the middle school players, cheerleaders, and members of the Band of Gold. This event will also be a chance for fans to purchase Indians gear, including authentic game jerseys, season passes, touchdown club memberships, and more.
Wow.
Let me just say, Dave, especially reading all this info just gets me so excited for high school football. And I mean, I'm probably, more than likely, I'll be at this event covering it for Lumpkin County. And I just love, especially in this area, how it brings the community together.
See, you're going to know a lot of people there. You're going to be the one there. You're going to know a lot of people in Lumpkin County. Mm-hmm. The Indian program, Lumpkin County is one of those programs that's been around obviously a long time, as a lot of our other ones have. But they're one of the first teams, if I'm not mistaken, in this area, in what we call this mountain area, to actually have artificial turf on their football field. And I remember when that happened, it was such a big deal because after that, it seemed like everyone else started following suit in the mountain area.
Right.
But I remember Lumpkin being one of those first programs that installed that turf, and it was like, wow, because you only heard about those things at the Gwinnett schools, the Ritzy area over there in Gwinnett County, in places like that, but seriously, so Lumpkin has been one of those programs that's kind of led the way in the local area for things like this, and so I'm excited for Indian football this year and what they're going to bring to the table. New coach, a lot of optimism, a lot of excitement.
Exactly. And I've been over there and talked to Coach Sorrells a couple of times, and excited. There's a lot of excitement even among the players. They've got a new coach, and it's the start of a new era, basically,
Absolutely.
With a new coach and a lot of talent over there in Lumpkin County as well. Talking about, you're giving me some grief for being from Gwinnett County with the turfs and everything. I was actually talking to a friend of mine at church yesterday about, because he has some kids that play in the sports in Gwinnett County and everything. And I was telling him, I said, I go to pretty much every single field I go to up here has turf. And believe it or not, Gwinnett County, we have like a couple of parks that have turf, but really, not as many. And,
a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, and you just, it's really cool to get out there and have the turf. And I'm gonna say this once, and I'll get off of it, but I cannot stand white football pants. White pants of any. That's not what you were expecting, was it?
No, that's not what I was expecting. But I agree with you. I'm the same way. I don't like it either. I don't like it either. Yeah, and the other thing that I don't like, even worse than that, is gold home jerseys. Teams that wear, because it's such a light color, like to me a home jersey should stand out. And I've actually broadcasted games where the home team wore, like Georgia Tech used to wear, and may still wear some of the gold jersey, which is a light color with white pants, playing a team that's in all white because they're wearing the road uniform, and you can't hardly distinguish the two apart from each other. So that just, when you talk about uniforms, it made me think of that.
Weekly, every week I do a sports column. It's called Sports Talk Thursday with Lauren Hunter. I think this week I'm going to dedicate my column to this conversation we just had about uniforms we don't like.
Football fashion.
Football fashion, exactly. That's what I'm
going to
I like
it.
That's what I'm going to call it. Football fashion, talking about how we don't like white.
I'm a big uniform guy, man. I tell you what, I'm all about uniforms, man. I love the uniforms and the combinations that schools have, even high schools nowadays. But yeah, there's some combinations that just kind of make you question things a little bit.
And I see white football pants, and all I think is grass stains. Which I know, we were talking about turf, and you don't have to worry about that with turf. But on fields where there's not turf, it's grass. I see that. I just see grass.
It's one thing if they have a thick stripe, maybe some logos on it, something like that. Even if I still don't like them, I'm with you. But like solid white kind of plain pants, it's just like, unless you're Penn State, man, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know,
Unless you're that one team.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So.
All right. Well, speaking of football, we've got one more thing that we're going to talk about, the Mountain Football League. Many of you in this area probably already are familiar with the Mountain Football League and a bunch of the teams that play in it. But the official Mountain Football League schedule is going to be released today at 3 p.m. It is here, everybody.
Alrighty, wow,
it is here.
okay.
The official schedule will be released then. And we're going to take a moment here on Instant Replay to sort of build that hype up by talking about some of the rematches they have announced throughout the week between the teams that are going to be happening. So the 11U rematch, this will be, the kids obviously that they were a year younger last year, and then they're going to be a year older this year. So the 11U, those that were 10U last year, their rematch will be between Pickens and Lumpkin and will take place at Lumpkin on October 12th at 3 p.m. And then the 10U team, the 9U last year rematch, will be played between Chestatee and Gilmer and will be at Chestatee on September 7th at 3 p.m. And then finally, the 9U team, which was 8U last year rematch, will be between Fannin and White County and take place at White County on September 21st at 1:30 p.m. So, Dave, I'm not sure how much involvement you had with the Mountain Football League last year.
Not much, other than just BKP coming in, watching the coverage, Team FYN Sports, and the ways that, we were involved from that angle. I'm busy down in Cherokee County, Friday nights, college ball at Berry, working with those guys still. Again, this year, they had me back for whatever reason. So, unfortunately, I don't get to see a lot of the Mountain League and a lot of the youth football stuff in the area, but I do keep up with it just through our coverage, and it's awesome to see so many rivalries and things form because, my kids came up through there. My daughter cheered through it. So, Gilmer, Pickens, Fannin, Rabun, Towns County, all those teams that we used to visit. I'm not exactly sure who all is I'm off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of all the counties that are represented in the Mountain League, but it's fun. I mean, I grew up playing football all through school. Youth football is awesome to watch. To me, it's football in its purest form. These kids are out there having a good time. They're playing for a trophy.
Yeah.
They're playing, whatever. And so that's what it's all about. And
Right.
I love watching it. Some of these kids are so small, their helmet weighs as much as they do.
I know,
they can't
they're
hardly
so
get up off the
cute.
ground,
They
But
are so
it's
cute.
and then as they get older, I mean, it's kind of like a sneak peek into what you can expect a couple years later in the high school level. I mean, it really is a good preview of those kids that you're going to be seeing on Friday nights.
Exactly. It's the stars of tomorrow, as we like to say. And,
Yep.
And you touched on it a little bit just now, Dave, but they get out there and they just want to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And they do. They get out there, they hit each other a little bit, they take out their pent up energy on each other, and then at the end of the day they're sweaty and everything, and
Right, yeah.
moms just love it.
Right, exactly. Got to do the laundry, like you
gotta
talked
do
about.
Gotta clean those
You got white
football
pants,
Yep,
we used to have to
so-
put all the pads in our pants before every practice. They used to snap them all in. Now they're real little and they're like carbon fiber, and you can't even hardly feel them. I mean, I guess I don't know. There's a lot of them that are different with like the hip pads and the knee pads and thigh pads and all that stuff. But yeah, it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah,
watching them get suited up out there.
I'm looking forward to being out with Team FYN Sports. We're going to be doing a little bit of coverage with the Mountain Football League, and so it's exciting things are in store. And with that being said, I mean, it's time for our last break.
Man, we're flying right
I
through
know
it.
we are. We're flying
right
through it. And when we come back, we're going to be finishing up with Dave's segment. A segment worth garnering your attention, as Josh, that's what we call it now. That's what Josh came up with. And then we'll wrap it up with a little bit of Braves updates. And Dave here was actually at the game yesterday.
On Sunday,
so you'll be able to give a little bit of insight to that. And so don't go anywhere, y'all. We will be right back with a final update.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment, All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. You are, of course, watching Instant Replay with me, Lauren Hunter, and I have my co-host Dave Gardner, who is in the flesh, in the office with me today, and we've been having a great time. If you have not been able to watch this show live, Josh, go ahead and throw up our social media card, and I'll talk about our Facebook page and all that. If you have not been able to watch this show live, definitely go watch it on our YouTube channel. It's FYN TV, Fetch Your News. We always upload these videos to our YouTube channel after the show ends, so you can go back and watch the entire thing through. And then you can also give our Facebook page a like, which obviously if you're watching the show live, you're already here, so you might as well give it a like. And then you can follow our Twitter account and our Instagram accounts at Team FYN Sports. It's all the same. And then earlier we talked about, Tina Russell sending me some information about her daughter, Kaylee, who committed to Bryan College this week. If you have any information like that you would like to share with us about maybe your favorite athlete or a favorite team of yours, you can send that to us, teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. That is our email account, or you can even give us a call there at the number below. And we've been having a great time on the show today, haven't we, Dave?
We have. It's transition day, transition week, I guess. I know a lot of folks may or may not watch the live show on Monday. You may watch on demand throughout the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever works for you. We appreciate you guys watching, but for those that are just joining us, it is transition week because we are turning over the reins full-time to the full-time host, Lauren Hunter, who has definitely earned it. She's done a great job.
Thank you, Dave.
We feel very confident leaving it with her, and like I said, I'll be contributing here and there, but it's time.
He's not going anywhere.
It's time, though. I mean, she has earned it, has done an awesome job, and so we appreciate the job you've done. I mean, you've come in and you've taken it. You've taken it. You've done exactly what you're supposed to do. So
when you enjoy what you do, I mean, it makes it a lot easier. And I've been here for about a couple months now. I'm almost to 3 months. And I've just enjoyed every minute of it. I mean,
Right.
it doesn't get any better than being able to talk about sports for a living.
And I've loved being your sidekick. It's fun,
Well,
you know.
thank
And
you.
I love like one of the things as I get older, and this will be my, not to brag or anything, I'm not bragging, but this is my 25th consecutive year of high school football.
Wow.
You know, play-by-play and coverage. And so for me, you know, ego aside, it's nice to be able to take young people. I work with different people on our radio crew, for example. One guy is right out of high school, very good, does a very good job. He's basically my fill-in. I love being able to bring young people along and watch them develop and mature and to be able to help them. And you're no different. I mean, you're somebody, you've come out of college, you're a talent. You got a bright future ahead of you. And so for me to be able to work with you a little bit and to see that, it's awesome. And I'm like, wow, this, you know, she's got it, folks. She's got it. And so again, I love the fact that you've grown as much as you have, even over these last couple months. So very confident that you're going to be able to take this thing to another level.
Well, I'm very excited about it, and I'm going to try to focus on, you know, doing more with the show, and I've got some ideas in mind. So, you know, keep watching the show, everyone, as we go on through the football season, as we go on through the fall, and then into the spring. You know, going to try to roll out some updates and everything, and just, you know, try to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
You know, we're going to keep it to the topic of local sports, you know, because that's
Right.
what we do. But, you know, also add in some things, and,
Yeah,
you know.
it's fun. It's all about
Yeah,
fun, you know,
exactly.
bringing it to you in a way that's, you know, visually appealing, but also entertaining and informative and all
Yep.
those things. And
Yep.
so, yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm excited. And I feel like I'm ready. I do.
And not leaving her by any means. So
No,
anytime,
he's
you know,
not going anywhere,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I mean, you won't be
Just
in live
helping
with
out a
me,
little
but-
bit. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But he'll still be, you know,
Oh, yeah.
taping his segments and everything and sending them in. So he's not going anywhere. Don't y'all worry. Dave Garner fans, don't you leave us.
Because there's just so many of them out
He's
there.
not gonna be going
Droves of
anywhere.
fans. But anyway.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to finish up today with some Braves announcements and some Braves updates. And Dave, I'm going to throw it over to you because I'm sure you've been watching some soccer and maybe a little bit of NFL and some stuff as well.
Well, big win for Atlanta United, too, kind of as we jump into it here in the few minutes that we have left over LA Galaxy. I know they were a little bit shorthanded, but a big win that put Atlanta United really atop the Eastern standings right now. Big match coming up this weekend. They really need this one as well to have a shot at the number one seed out of the Eastern side of the MLS standings. Going to the Braves, I mean, obviously the Falcons, the Hall of Fame game, the first preseason game, you know, a little bit left to be desired, but to be honest with you, I didn't even pay that much attention. First two strings didn't even really see the field. So it is what it is, but it's nice to see the football season kind of get off to a good start. That was the first official football game basically of the season, is that Hall of Fame NFL game in Canton, Ohio, and we won't end now until February after the Super Bowl with some type of football. But as far as the Braves go, I was at the game on Sunday. That's why I'm a little hoarse this morning. You know, I was yelling. Josh and I talked, and not to belabor the point, but it was a little disheartening because, you know, we went out, we got Shane Green from the Tigers as our new closer, and in the first two appearances, he blew a save, A, and then B, got the loss on Sunday by giving up a 3-run homer in extra innings in a tie game where the Braves basically come back and gotten a 2-run homer from Acuna in the ninth inning to extend the game. So it was disheartening. You know, the Reds are not one of the upper echelon teams. You know, 4-game series, you split with those guys. You would have loved to have taken 3 of 4. But the good news was on Sunday, at least the Nats and the Phillies also lost as well. So we didn't really lose any ground. Twins coming up, and then the Marlins as well. So Twins are going to be tough. Hopefully we can gain some ground with the Marlins. But yeah, walk off by Acuna, as you see there in the thumbnail, you know,
I love that
from
picture,
Saturday
Josh. That's a
night's
good
game.
one.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, and I know you're a Braves fan too, obviously. You know, and I want to bring Josh in as well. He and I had a little debate last week about the bullpen and this, that, and the other as well. A lot of different stats and numbers. Josh is a numbers guy, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say as we wrap up talking about the Braves too.
Well, I mean, I know Josh can probably talk more from a stats point because even before we went live on this show.
Do we have another half hour? I mean, do we have to have that?
Can we
Josh
extend
throwing
it
out all
until, like,
the whip and
22?
the war and all those different stats
Oh,
and
my
things that he
goodness.
looks at.
We actually, so RJ actually put a poll out on our Team FYN Sports, you know, asking Braves fans, you know, who did they think we needed to acquire? And I voted for a reliever closer. You know, that's what I thought we needed, and we got that. So that was awesome. And Josh, I'm going to bring you in because to wrap it up, because he is our Atlanta Braves guru. That's what we like. That's what we call him.
Yeah,
we
that's
call
what we
him
call
that.
him.
We joke
Yeah.
with her about that. And, you know, you can probably give us some more insight about that since you are all about the numbers.
All right, so basically what I want to say is Braves fans need to relax a little bit on Shane Green. He looks a lot better on paper than he really was. He's never had a great year up until this year. There's a couple of other stats called FIP and XFIP, that's fielding independent pitching. That's basically what a pitcher's ERA should look like based on him alone, not the defenders behind him. So his those two numbers for him are 3.7 and 3.8, suggesting that he's been really lucky this year with great defense behind him, or different factors that go into that. So really, his ERA should be in the high threes based on those things, and it's sitting at in the ones. So unfortunately, we're probably going to get the tail end of that number coming back to real life. To bring a 1 up to a 3.7, we're probably going to have some 4 and 5 ERA performances out of him. He is still a good pitcher. He has a really high ground ball rate, really high strikeout rate. So with the defense we've got, that should help him. It'll definitely be better when Swanson gets back. Other than that, like Dave said, we got the Twins coming up. They are one of the best teams in the American League. I believe they're 69 and 42. We're 66 and 47. So it's going to be a good test. I'd like to see how we do against one of the AL's better teams.
Yeah, I completely agree. I know you started getting into some of those numbers things. I was like, wait, what? Had to focus in really hard on that part. Cause
right.
I know some of the stats for some players, but some of it Josh knows
right.
everything. And
everything. Josh and I were talking obviously off air before the show, talking about Shane Green. I called him Shane Green on Facebook, and just right after that game in Madness, and 5 runs he'd given up in 37 or 38, innings with the Tigers. He's already given up 4 in 2 innings with us, and I know that, we'll see what happens. I mean, I know it's early. I know it's different surroundings. It's a transition when you're traded and everything. Hopefully, he'll be able to settle into a routine because we did give up a little bit to get him. You'd hate to bring a guy in like that and then have to demote him immediately and put Luke Jackson or somebody back in that role because they're not performing. So you hate that you're not going to get your money's worth. Possibly, that's certainly a possibility with any player anytime you make a move, but
exactly.
hopefully he'll settle down and get into a little bit of a rhythm.
Yep. Hopefully so. We will see this week. And thank you, everyone. This is actually all the time that we have.
Man, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet.
It is.
But I've enjoyed it. And I'm excited about the future of the program, the future of Team FYN Sports. Glad to be a small part of it. Glad that you're leading the way.
Yep. I'm sorry, Josh. You're going to have to repeat what you said. Uh-oh. Breaking Braves news.
Uh-oh.
Right. The Braves have promoted 2 of their top prospects, Drew Waters and Christian Prochet, to Gwinnett as of today. So those 2, once they make it to Atlanta, paired with Acuna in the outfield, it's going to probably be the most dynamic outfield in baseball. Ooh. So they're one step closer.
Here we go.
That's really exciting. Love to hear that. Like to get those breaking news
Braves
updates.
Gurus right on it, man. I'm telling you, Josh is all over it. If it happens in North Georgia or at SunTrust Park, we're all over it, right? Yeah.
Exactly right. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. If you've been tuning in live, and if you're watching it on demand, thank you for your time and watching it as well. Again, there is all of our social media that you can follow us on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then, of course, as always, if you have any information you want to send to us, you can send it to that contact information right there below. Dave, thank you for coming in today and for being in with me.
Glad to be here. Enjoyed it. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Good things in store, though. I mean, it's like you said, it's a little bittersweet, but there's a lot. There's good things are coming.
Well, yeah, we started this show, I guess, it's almost a year and a half ago, I guess, Josh, if I'm not mistaken. And I know, Josh, you've been with the program a good bit of that time and everything. So I'm glad leaving it in good hands. Certainly, Lauren Hunter is going to do a great job with it, leading the way. I'm excited to watch you continue to progress and just get better and better. You're already awesome. So sky's the limit.
Yep, there we go.
Don't forget it.
All right. And on that note, we're going to close it out. So thank you, everyone, again for watching, and we will see you next week.